Hi everybody and welcome back to another Halloween tutorial. Today's tutorial is for Harley Quinn and this is inspired of course by the Suicide Squad edition, but I've simplified everything to make it super easy for you to achieve at home. So I'm starting off by applying my base. The base is of course a skin tone color, but I've made sure to make it lighter than my natural skin tone. So just use any foundation in a lighter shade than your skin and you'll be perfectly fine with this. And before I applied my foundation, I also did apply a primer. Like I said in my previous Joker video, we did wear this to FanFest, and so we needed a long wear look, and especially for Halloween, if you're wearing this out, you want it to be long wear. So match it with a good primer that you can trust. So just make sure that you're blending that color all along the neck and chest, anywhere where your skin will be showing, just because you want that to look seamless. So moving on to the eyes, I'm taking this NYX eyeshadow, I think it's called Cherry Red, and I'm applying that messily all over the lid and then using my fingers to kind of smudge it out and blend the edges. That's the beauty of this look too, and it makes it super easy because it really doesn't need to be neat and precise. You can kind of just throw it on and mess it up and it'll still look really good. So I'm just layering the color until I'm happy with how opaque the color is. So every time I add a little bit of color, I just blend it out with my finger because I found that was the best way to make it a little bit uneven and smudgy. I'm then taking a little bit more of that red shadow onto my finger and I'm using that to make those streaks along the sides of the cheeks. So I'm starting off at the end of the eye where I ended that little cat eye and pulling it down to the center of my cheek. Now I'm adding a little bit more depth. I found that the color was a little bit too flat. So I'm using this raspberry shade called Mulberry by Lorac. It's just a matte shade, any will do. And I'm adding it to the outer corner of the eye to add a bit more depth. And again, I'm keeping it super messy. No really rhyme or reason to it. Just generally keeping it in that cat eye shape. What a photo bomber. Look at that. The Joker always playing around. And yeah, I'm just adding a little bit more depth. And then I'm using that mulberry shade again to add more depth to those streaks. So I'm pulling it down the same way I did with the streaks I used my finger for. So now I'm moving on to the blue. For the blue, I'm using Neptune by Makeup Geek. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply it all over the eye and then use my fingers to smudge it out. And again, I'm keeping it in a general cat eye shape. Then I'm doing the same thing from the other side. I'm taking a little bit more of that blue shade onto my finger and using that to create those streaks on the side of my face. Again, this doesn't need to be neat and they don't need to be symmetrical. That's what makes these looks so easy to achieve. So you just kind of messily draw it on. The messier the better. So I'm doing the same thing that I did on the other side. So I'm adding more depth to this look by using a navy blue shade mixed with the Neptune shade. It was too dark to use a navy blue on its own, so I've mixed it with the Neptune shade to create the perfect in-between color. So I'm doing the same thing, adding it to the outer corner of the eye in a general cat eye shape and then using my finger to blend it out. And then using that same combination to add a little bit more dimension to the streaks as well. Now I'm using the corresponding colors to kind of smoke out the bottom lash line of the eye. So I'm using the red first and then going in with the blue. Making sure to blend those out and make those super smoky. I'm taking that quite low on the eye to add to the messiness of the look. I then quickly did a winged liner with just some black eyeliner and then filled in my brows. I filled in my brows the same way I always do. If you guys want to see a tutorial, I will post that for you, but for the sake of saving time, I'm not going to show you the entire process in this video. I then moved on to finish off the rest of the eye. So here I'm just using a matte black eyeshadow to add a bit more smokiness and definition to the eye look. So I am keeping that super close along the lash line on the bottom lash, connecting it to where my wing is in the corner of the eye. And this just really brings the whole look together and makes it so that the bottom lash isn't overpowered by the crazy wing we have on the top of our eyes. Then I am just taking whatever is remaining on that brush and using it to add more streaks down the sides of our face. This is kind of emphasizing the fact that we were crying and that black eyeliner kind of smudged down the face. I then curl my lashes and add a ton of mascara. I didn't wear any false lashes with this look because I was wearing this all day and I wanted it to be a bit more comfortable, and I was also running out of time, so I didn't have time to put lashes. Then I did do all my tattoos on my legs, and I somehow lost the footage of all of the tattoos. For the face, I wanted to simplify the tattoos, so all I did was the heart. I didn't write rotten across her cheek. But then I ended up doing the leg tattoos, but I've lost the footage of that, and I lost the footage of me putting my lipstick on. But what I can tell you is that on my lips, I wore the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Outlaw, and then that was it. That was my entire look, and I loved the way it came out. It's so easy for everybody to do at home. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!